Thank you for joining me for this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 zodiac signs that are womanizers, man-eaters, basically the male and female players of the zodiac. So put your black books away, put your Snapchats, your Instagrams, your text messages, and put your listening caps and your listening ears on. Alright, and take notes. By the way, I'm Lamar Townsend. Thank you for listening and watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamar Townsend Official. Contact me at LamarTownsendTarot.com for your own personal, private, confidential tarot reading. My readings are not free. They are $1 per minute, but they are well worth it. If you visit my website, LamarTownsendTarot.com, you can read and watch some personal reading testimonials from people who have gotten readings from me, clients who have come back numerous times to get readings from me, so I really appreciate it. Or you can email me at lamar.townsend@gmail.com directly to purchase a personal reading from me. So also follow me on Google+, check out my SoundCloud, and follow me on SoundCloud and check out my Bandcamp. So with that being said, the 5 male and female players of the Zodiac. Well, let's just get right into it, alright? Number 1. The unexpected, maybe, or maybe for some of you, this sign is expected. Virgo. Virgo can be a male or a female player. Now, it really depends. With a Virgo, it depends on how much the Virgo likes you, because if the Virgo doesn't like you too much, they don't really see you as maybe real long-term potential. They might keep you around just for, some fun, or, just to see what could happen. They'll string you along. They'll keep you in the back wings just in case. Meanwhile, they're definitely dating and talking to seriously other men and women. But then, you have someone, who may be really trying to get, the Virgo's attention, and really, vying for the Virgo's attention, whether, that it's a male or female. But the Virgo can sometimes go after the people that don't show them as much attention. Virgo can sometimes go after those relationships that, like, they really, really want, but things, like, seem so vague and unclear, and I don't really know where this is going, but I have hope. As long as I just keep working at it, and perfecting it and perfecting myself, this relationship is gonna work. Meanwhile, Virgo has like one or two guys or girls, that are really trying to take the Virgo out on a date. The Virgo's probably giving them excuses. I'm busy. I'm busy with work, school. Playing mind games, but still flirting. As well. Not like just basically stringing you along. You know. Um, Even, so when a Virgo gets into a relationship, a Virgo may not completely cut off ties with, past loves or past, dating partners, because a Virgo can keep someone around that they've actually dated, meaning they've, like, had sex with, or, a Virgo can also keep someone around that, you know, maybe they haven't gone all the way, but there's definitely something there. So, they're keeping them in the wings. That's a Virgo man or woman. Keeping someone in the wings. They'll keep you in the wings, and give you hope. They'll feed you hope and little breadcrumbs, you know, thinking, making you believe that you will have a chance of eventually. But, sometimes people wake up, eventually to the mind games that Virgos sometimes tend to play. And Virgos are really good because, they have so much going on in their minds, but you'll never know that, talking to them. They're really good at perfecting the art of masking, how they feel inside. So, on the outside they have really, really good poker faces, really, really good conversationalists as well. They're ruled by Mercury, so they're sweet talkers, so they know all the right words to say. So you may not catch their lies and their sneakiness right away, but definitely, there will be some, you know, points where the Virgo will be acting kind of irrationally and different, and that those are your clues, your hidden cues, like, okay, something's off. Because Virgos definitely have their routines as well, and once they start deviating from their routines, because you have to remember, Virgos don't like to deviate from their routines, so that's also a clue, you know. Virgos are very sneaky. If I had to pin them as a card in tarot, in terms of like how they can sometimes act in dating or just in terms of this video, I would pin them as the magician. The magician, has the cup, the wand, the sword, and the pentacle. Everything he or she needs to conjure up, and kind of mask whatever they need to mask and fit in and mold and the magician's a magician, that magic like energy, So that's a Virgo. Number two, Libra. Libra is very flirty, a very flirty sign. And a lot of times Libras flirt and they don't know that they're doing it. Um, Libras can also tend to flirt even when they're in relationships. Libras are easily swayed by the heart, especially with people that they like. Um, Libra can be in a relationship, but there could be someone at work that By the way, Libra is ruled by Venus, so Venus is all about romance, passion, love, excitement, sex. So Libra is all about the aesthetic, outer beauty. Libra loves beauty, so Libra is a sucker for someone who they see as beautiful. Um, and for that reason, a lot of times Libras find themselves being attracted to people, and having no specific clue why they're attracted. They're just enamored by this person. And like I said, this Libra could be in a relationship. This Libra could have a situation with someone else, but they have this one person that they've met, that they've come across, that they just need to be in this person's business, all up in this person's stuff. And so on that, note, sometimes Libras can find themselves cheating. Um, you know, um, and it's not necessarily something that they go into with the intention all the time of doing, but it just kind of happens because, Libra's a natural flirt. It's the flirt of the zodiac. So sometimes the Libras, with that flirtiness and that seductiveness that you male and female Libras, kind of wield, you guys have that down to a science, and it's just kind of innate in who you are, and sometimes, you can kind of wield that magic on people without knowing it. And you guys are the masters of seduction and flirting and romance because you're ruled by Venus. So, sometimes Libras can just find themselves in situations, positions that, they just didn't expect themselves to be in. That's pretty much what a Libra, is. A Libra is, often is attracted to very many people at any given time. Um, Libras are a very sexual sign as well, so they, are just they love to be pleased aesthetically. Okay, they love pleasure, period, Libras. Um, they are great with words. Um, Interesting, if I had to, and hear me out on this, if I had to pin Libra as a card in tarot, and I hope you understand this analogy. I would pin the Libra as the Fool. And I say that because Libras have this very foolish energy, naive energy sometimes about them, where it's like they are really easily led by the heart once again, and emotions, and love, and passion, and their feelings for someone. Um, Libras are also really good with words. They're an air sign. Air signs are typically really good with words because they deal with the sword-like energy, which is communication, intellect, technology, stuff like that. The Fool I sometimes see, in tarot as like, kind of like a poet, like a poet type of artistic, just loves the aesthetic beauty in something, whether it be words or Libras are usually, have some type of weird collection, that they may be into. They may collect weird stuff, or they may just love this specific type of artistic aesthetic, or they may love this specific type of music, or collect this specific type of music. The poet I sometimes see as that type of energy, or the poet. The Fool I sometimes see as that type of energy. The Fool, though, I see kind of as a poet, very good with words, is able to, put words together in a way that makes sense and that resonates with the soul, and they just know the right things to say. Poets are usually very, very seductive type of people, very just, mysterious and alluring people, and that is Libra. Anyone who's good with words, is usually a player. Not necessarily all the time, but, you know, they at least attract a lot of attention from people and have a lot of admirers, and Libras tend to have a lot and a lot of admirers. And Libras on the flip side tend to admire a lot and a lot of people, so. Third, Capricorn. Capricorn, the ultimate sign of the mind games. Capricorns love mind games. You want to play mind games with a Capricorn? Oh, Capricorns could go all day, all night with the mind games. And ironically, for some people that pisses people off, but it also turns them on in the same flip of the coin. Capricorn's mysteriousness and magnetic energy and kind of charismatic energy as well. Libras are very charismatic. Um, Capricorns are very e- enig and enigmatic. I don't know if that's a word. The Capricorns are kind of an enigma. You're attracted to them and you really don't know why. Capricorn is another sign that's also really good with words. Um, one second. Capricorn is another sign that's really, really good with words. And, um, Capricorns tend to have a lot of admirers, deep admirers. I mean, these Capricorns have admirers you know, that admire Capricorn so deeply and kind of love Capricorn so deeply that they would do anything for Capricorn. And Capricorn's a very manipulative sign, so they thrive on power. The power they have on people, the power they have on their partners, the power they have over their admirers and the people vying for their attention. Capricorns love that power. Power turns them on. So in that frame, Capricorns are very powerful people and very also organized people. So Capricorns, may have multiple people that they're talking to and dating. They go on a date with this person, on a Saturday, early in the morning. But by 5 p.m., they're cuddled up next to someone completely different that they probably take way more seriously. Um, and then by 12 p.m., when that person leaves, or if they don't leave, but if they do leave, Capricorn probably has someone, that they call up at 12 a.m. to come over and, do the deed with and, either cuddle with, or it's like, all right, bye. That's the type of womanizer or man eater that Capricorn can be. Now, I will say that Capricorn tends to not be that type of person. That's like a really extreme version of a Capricorn. Like that probably isn't in their right mind or something, or is like going through something, or just really needs to assess their moral compass and their life goals or whatever. Or at least, go to therapy for sex addiction. Capricorns tend to by the way, Capricorns are kind of sex addicts, so I will say that. In tarot, they're ruled by the devil, and if I had to pin them as any other card in tarot, I can't think of anything else. It would be that card, the devil. Um, Capricorn's fear is always getting caught. They're always fearing getting caught. They're very organized people, but sometimes when they're fearful, they can slip up. Um, so you have to watch out for that. That's the way to really, figure out a Capricorn. If you're in a relationship with a Capricorn at least, and you're thinking that Capricorn's cheating, usually a cheating Capricorn, when they are fearing that they're going to get caught, they become just very fearful and they start to act different and irrationally. All signs, by the way, that thing, especially the ones I'm talking about in this video, if they think they're going to get caught cheating, or if they are cheating, or if they just are doing something that's not becoming of the relationship, if they're doing something behind your back, they'll start to act different and you'll notice it. Okay, so Capricorn can be the type of womanizer or man eater that really doesn't care about your feelings. Generally, Capricorn doesn't prefer to have multiple people like that. Capricorn would much rather have one person that they're focusing on, but Capricorn is the type of person that has people for different needs. So, once again, Capricorn has someone that, they can take home to mama, show around to the family, and then they have someone who's probably like a freak in the bed, you know. And then they may have may have someone, that, they only see in the mornings because they see them, every morning in the coffee shop, or they work with them. So, this is someone that, they may flirt with on the job, or, just someone that they casually talk to in hopes of turning this person into one of these roles of, I'm thinking of dating you exclusively, or you're just something for fun, that I'm later going to toss out. Capricorn is one of the coldest, most unfeeling, rudest, and shadiest signs in the zodiac. Actually, I did a video on this a few days ago, so check that out. Hopefully, it shows up, somewhere over here, below, whatever. Um, but yeah, Capricorns, can definitely be man eaters and womanizers. Capricorns know what they want, and if you aren't what they want, they're gonna use you. Capricorn's motto is "I use." And they're going to use you for as long as you let them, all right? Um, so you definitely have to put up boundaries with the Capricorn, all right? And let them know what you will and won't take, what you will and won't stand for, okay? What you will and won't accept, all right? Number 4, Scorpio. Scorpio, I know you guys aren't surprised to hear this. Scorpio men and women can definitely be players, all right? And the thing with Scorpios is that they can definitely be. Scorpios are good at being players. Scorpios have being a player, being, a womanizer, a man eater. By the way, these things are not negative. I mean, depending on how you see them. I don't know. They have it down to a science. Scorpios can be, while they're a water sign, so they're very emotional, they can also be emotionally detached at the same time. So Scorpios, once again, are going to organize you much like the other signs that I've talked about already in this video, are going to organize you into a certain category of you're someone, that I'm just talking to casually, nothing really, it's kind of up in the air, we're just talking. That's one category. The other category is where we're hooking up, we're having fun, we're dating, we're doing whatever. That's another category. The third category is I'm thinking of dating you exclusively. I'm thinking of you long term. I'm thinking of you as someone serious that I seriously want to date. So these different categories, Scorpio is going to treat you differently according to the category that they place you in. Okay? And you can't really there's no way of you being able to skip to if you're in category A, you can't just put yourself in category B, by doing any type of thing. Scorpio has to place you in that Scorpio that category themselves. Scorpio has to take you from category A to category B themselves in their head. And then only then can you act in accordance to the category that they put you in. Okay, so if a Scorpio sees you as category A, you can't act like you're in category B with a Scorpio, okay? Maybe with the other signs I've talked about, you can do that maybe. Capricorn maybe, probably not so much, but the other two maybe. Um, there's definitely strict boundaries with the Scorpio. Scorpio is going to put up strict boundaries with people, but the thing with Scorpio is that Scorpio is so rude and so blunt and so kind of careless that a Scorpio, a person might be super attracted to a Scorpio, and the Scorpio friend zones you, and that makes you really mad at the Scorpio, but you're still attracted to the Scorpio, so you're still gonna be in the Scorpio's midst in hopes that they move you from the friend zone to the next zone, whatever that is, category A to category B. The thing that people mess up with Scorpios about is that once again, you can't do anything. You can't sweet talk the Scorpio. You can't shower the Scorpio with gifts to make the Scorpio man or woman move you from category A to category B. The Scorpio has to do that themselves mentally, spiritually, whatever it is. They just need to get right in themselves. Maybe you never will move from category A to category B with a Scorpio, and that's just something you have to accept. Scorpios are people that stand in their convictions, So, but, Scorpio, if I had to say, a card that most resonates with Scorpio, or a card I would pin Scorpio as in the tarot, would be the Emperor. And the Emperor, I say Scorpios because, the Emperor is always ruminating over who he or she should allow into the castle, who he or she should allow into his or her heart, his or her kingdom. And the kingdom can just be the Scorpio themselves. I mean, we are all kingdoms and castles. Um, but that's kind of the mentality of Scorpio. Scorpio is not a very open, Scorpio is not just going to be very open with just anybody and carefree and talkative. Scorpio is a very secretive sign, so they're going to do things um, in secret. They're going to move in silence, okay? Um, the last, the fifth zodiac sign that can tend to be a player, a womanizer, or a man eater. Sagittarius. Sagittarius has an appetite for a certain type of man or woman, and Sagittarius will not rest until they reach their goal of getting that man, that ideal man or woman. Sagittarius will generally go through many different men or women through their lifetime before they find the person that they're really looking for. Sagittarius is another sign that's very detached emotionally, especially when it comes to people they're dating. Sagittarius definitely will categorize you. With a Sagittarius, in contradiction to Scorpio, where there are very strict defined lines, the lines can sometimes blur with the Sagittarius, especially when you've laid down with the Sagittarius and have had sex with the Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is a very sexual sign. They have a very strong sexual appetite, okay? Um, The problem is that Sagittarius, just because they have sex with you doesn't mean that they see you as relationship material. Doesn't mean that they want to be with you forever. And that's sometimes where people's feelings get hurt. That's where sometimes the lines get blurred and things get kind of messy with the Sagittarius. So people just have to remember that just because the Sagittarius jumps into bed with you or cuddles with you or allows you to touch them and grope them and fondle them, consensual, by the way, doesn't mean that they want to be with you forever. Doesn't mean that they want to marry you. Doesn't mean that they want to have your kids. It just means that in that moment, they were feeling you. They were feeling that moment, and that was the moment, you know? So sometimes you just have to let that moment go and move into the next. And maybe the next moment, the Sagittarius isn't feeling you, doesn't like you, you know? That kind of hot and cold that you're getting from Sagittarius, take that as a hint, kind of. Um, because the Sagittarius will never generally, once they place you in a category, generally, you're in that category for pretty much permanent with the Sagittarius. They may move you around, just test the waters a bit, but most of the time you end up right back at in category A, or B, where you first entered the picture, So Sagittarius is just, a very, one of those signs that are carefree, and this is what it is, and if you can handle it, great. If you can't, then I'm sorry. I hope I don't hurt your feelings, but if I do, I don't really know what to do to fix it, so that's kind of a Sagittarius energy. And if I had to pin what a Sagittarius card would be in tarot, this is a toughie. Hmm. I would almost say the Fool as well with Libra, definitely. But hmm, the Fool and maybe hmm, the Star, maybe. Just very magnetic and alluring to people, the center of the party, the life of the party. Um, Usually you can find, Sagittarians around many different people. Sagittarians tend to have many different admirers of many different genders and backgrounds, and the Sagittarius may not even ever know that, People may never outright tell the Sagittarius, hey, I have a huge crush on you. But, sometimes people work their way up to category A and then category B, So it just really depends, But once again, it's all about how the Sagittarius views you, okay? Sagittarius is a sign that's not easily manipulated, all right? So, um, you can't push and pull a Sagittarius around. They're always going to do what they want, all right? With that being said, honorable mentions, all right? Pisces can sometimes be players and man-eaters and womanizers. Pisces is a very secretive sign as well, so they definitely move in silence, okay? You may never know that, Pisces is talking to other people while they're talking to you and hooking up with you, but they probably are, especially if you're not in constant contact with the Pisces. If you go, it's like you come together, do your thing, and then you don't hear from the Pisces for a week or so. They are probably talking to other people. Um, you know, Pisces are very open-minded people. You know, so Pisces are open to things like, not all, but some Pisces are open to things like open relationships and friends with benefits, but friends with benefits long term, like a long term sort of situation. And I don't know, Pisces kind of likes to collect people in a weird way, So the longer you get to know a Pisces, probably the more the lines start to blur. Um, but that's who a Pisces is, Pisces, they're all about mysticism and they're all, kind of in the air. Not all the time, but sometimes you need to pull them back down to earth, even though they're a water sign. All right, so the second honorable mention is, and there are many more, by the way. not just the zodiac signs can be, players and man eaters and womanizers. Anyone is capable of being a player, a womanizer, or a man eater. Totally independent of their zodiac sign. It all depends on the person, and that's why it's so important that we really pay attention to the people that we date and really get to know people. But the second honorable mention I'm going to mention in this video is Gemini. Geminis are such smooth talkers and they're fast talkers, and if I had to pin them as a card in tarot, it would be the Fool. By the way, if I had to pin Pisces as a card in tarot, it would be the Tower. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, Pisces. Um, it just means that you're in constant destruction and reconstruction. Um, but I do believe that at some point, you will become indestructible, you know, with that tower-like energy in dating and relationships. And once you become indestructible, that's when you'll find your partner, for life, I think. With that being said, Gemini is once again the energy of the Fool. They're smooth talkers. They're poets. They're good with words. They usually have multiple people that they're talking to, attracted to, um, that they have their eye on, even if they're in a relationship. Sometimes, especially if they're in a relationship and the relationship isn't good, it's kind of on the rocks. They may stay in that relationship, but they definitely may be talking to other people, dating other people outside of the relationship. Um, Pisces, you know. If I had to pin them as another card in tarot other than the Fool, it would be the Temperance card. I think one thing for Pisces as they grow in dating and in relationships is that they learn to temper their feelings in their mouth and their thoughts, and to kind of become calmer and more centered. And I think that's ultimately the type of person that a Gemini, I don't know why I said Pisces. Did I say Pisces? I meant Gemini. That's ultimately the type of person that a Gemini needs, is someone who will help them temper, their fast thoughts and their fast talking. Someone that can tell them, hey, slow down, like chill out. Otherwise, they're just going to be in a constant state of a whirlwind of dating partners and craziness and mishaps as they try to figure it out and get it together. That's a Gemini. So, these are the five players and man eaters and womanizers of the zodiac. By the way, if you're wondering what my sign is, I'm a Capricorn. A Libra moon, Capricorn sun, Virgo rising. Don't judge me. Thank you for listening and watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamar Townsend Official. Contact me at Lamar Townsend Tarot for your own personal, private, confidential tarot reading, or lamar.townsend@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend. Follow me on Google+, follow me on SoundCloud, and check out my Bandcamp, okay? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the notification button for updates on my videos, okay? I do astrology videos, I do tarot readings, horoscope readings, I do it all, okay? So I would be very grateful and happy if you joined the family here, okay? Thank you for listening and watching, and I'll catch you next time in the next video, okay? Peace out, you womanizers and players, alright? Coming from a player himself, I guess. I'm a Capricorn, Libra, Virgo. Don't hate the player, hate the game, alright? Peace out.